Hats off to entrepreneurs. You bring value to our community by creating jobs and building wealth. Aspire Enterprise of Florida is your premier one-stop resource for strategic business coaching, business trainings, and business services. Our elite team of business professionals have over 30 years of expertise to serve small business owners, not-for-profit organizations, and individuals. Aspire Enterprise, where your needs are our priority.
Good evening and welcome to Palm Bay Live. And thank you for joining us today. Today we're going to be interviewing Janice Crisp. She is running for City Council seat 2. And before I do that, I would like to bring on a small business owner who has been striving through this COVID-19 situation. And I have him here, and let's put him on stream. This is Mr. Alan Hines from Elite Ear. Mr. Haynes, welcome to the program. Please talk about your company and how you're striving throughout COVID-19 situation.
How you doing? Thanks for having me on. Yes, so we are a local licensed air quality company here to Palm Bay. We serve all of Brevard County. As you all know, COVID-19 has been a burden on a lot of us, including ourselves. We are trying to do as much as we can for the community and get through these tough times. During our inspections, we have to glove up. We have to put on proper PPE. I notice a lot of the customers are also wearing PPE. We appreciate all the support we've gotten locally, even during the COVID-19. I know some customers are scared for somebody to come into their home, and it's totally understandable. We'll all get through this together. We do offer COVID-19 cleaning efficiency testing. So if you, as a business or homeowner, have had a customer or had a business sanitized by a company, you want to make sure it was done properly. We do work with a lab called EMSL out of Orlando. They are able to take swab samples and do analysis on those to check for cleaning efficiency. So just to make sure you're getting the job done properly. Somebody's not just coming in and saying they're sanitizing and they're actually not. We're really big on our morals. We're family orientated. Again, thanks for having us on. Our main business is mold testing and VOC testing. Realtors, property managers, homeowners that may think they have a leak or a mold problem. That's what we're generally called out for. But in these times, a lot of connery, I should say, is going on for, COVID-19 sanitizing. And we're trying to put an end to that. We'll come in behind companies, do testing, make sure it's done properly. And it's not just, a fly-by-night company doing that for yourself or your business. But thank you again for having us on. Palm Bay Live is great. You reached out and I'm glad to speak on your show.
Okay, awesome. And we would like to do this for businesses in the Palm Bay and the surrounding areas that are, pretty much, trying to jumpstart, throughout the COVID-19 to make sure they stay afloat. And we're doing this for free right now. We're not charging anybody. We're trying to help our local partners out to make sure everything is okay with them. And we would like the audience to show some love. Give them a call. What is your number, Alan?
Yeah, our phone number is 321-208-5180. You can find us also on Facebook, Elite Air Quality, eliteair-quality.com. Also is our website. We're also on Instagram. We post a lot of pictures of what we do out in the field. Hidden leaks, plumbing leaks you may not know about. You're buying a house. You want to make sure you don't have to replace your full kitchen a month after you buy your house because you found a leak. That's what we specialize in. I noticed a lot of people have been staying home a lot more recently due to the unfortunate circumstances. You may be feeling some sort of way, having environmental issues. Your ducts may need to just be cleaned, or you may have a leak somewhere. And now that you're being home more, you're noticing that because you're there, more often. So you can reach out to us if you have any questions or concerns. We'll also give a free consultation.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Alan, and thanks for joining us tonight. And And so basically, folks, if you know of a small business that needs some recognition, that needs a spotlight, please send them our info and let them know that we're here to support them. And we do have several live shows lined up for between now and the end of August. We have a lot of folks that we're going to be interviewing, so it would be great to have them on the program. Give them a minute or two so we can, shine some spotlight on them. Let them know that as a community, we care, Palm Bay cares, and we are here to help you stay afloat during these COVID-19 times. So that's why I brought him on, and I thought it would be a great idea to bring him on. There was a couple more businesses I was looking to bring on today, but we do have more time to get that done. But so if you know of the business that needs that spotlight, reach out to them, tell them to contact Palm Bay Live. My email is kevin@palmbaylive.com, kevin@palmbaylive.com. Just drop me an email and say, I have a business that I would like to promote. Thank you, Mr. Allen, for joining us tonight. And of course, the hour that you guys been waiting for, Miss Janice Chris is going to be is here in the studios and is ready to rock and roll, and she's ready to take our questions. So Miss Janice Chris, the hour has come, and I'm pretty sure you are ready to and able to answer our questions tonight. And we have a lot of audience participation tonight, and so it's just going to be a fun interview. So we're going to go through some, but to get started, I would like you first to talk about who you are, and why you're running for the city council. So let's talk about who is Janice Chris. Let's start there.
The enigma that is Janice Crisp. Well, first of all, I've lived here in Brevard County for about 20 years. I grew up in Western North Carolina and East Tennessee, but I have lived in a great number of places all over the United States.
Janice, I think we lost your stream. Miss Janice, I think we lost your stream. So let's hold on, folks. Stand by. I know we're having some bad weather outside, so let's see if she able to rejoin us here in a second. In the meantime, while Janice is trying to get back online, I would like to tell you that basically we have several interviews lined up. Tomorrow night, we're hoping to bring on Mr. Randy Fine, and State Representative Randy Fine should be here with us tomorrow night. And then we're hoping to have some interviews lined up in the month of July. All the mayoral candidates have agreed to be a part of the show for the month of July. So stand for that. And I'm standing by and waiting for Miss Janice to rejoin us back on the program. So so tomorrow night, we're hoping to have Mr. Fine on the program. It's set to begin at 8 p.m. Eastern. So and that will be that. And then for the month of June, and then we're going to go into July with some interviews that we have lined up, or electoral candidates. And one of the first ones is going to be with a guy named Alfred Agari. So he's going to be our first one that's going to be lined up on July 7th. Okay. And I'm waiting for Miss Chris. Let's see if she's able to rejoin us here shortly.
hats off to entrepreneurs. You bring value to our community by creating jobs and building wealth. Aspire Enterprise of Florida is your premier one-stop resource for strategic business coaching, business trainings, and business services. Our elite team of business professionals have over 30 years of expertise to serve small business owners, not-for-profit organizations, and individuals. Aspire Enterprise, where your needs are our priority.
Hello.
Hey, welcome back.
Hey, I'm
We
so
lost you there
sorry.
for a second.
Yeah, Mother Nature is speaking to us.
Yes, I can imagine. Yeah, so you were making some remarks about yourself and who you are and all that good stuff. So let's go back to that and let's pray the weather
Yeah.
cooperative. So
So
let's
I
get
was just saying, I lived a lot of different places. I grew up in Western North Carolina. My dad started raising us 5 kids. He got out of the Army and he had 5 kids. Him and my mom had 5 kids. I was the youngest. And I actually grew up, we had a fruit stand in Western North Carolina in the mountains. And so I have had a very odd life. He went from that to being the proverbial traveling salesman. So we traveled everywhere. I've seen a lot of history. I got to see all those different places in the United States that a lot of people didn't get to see. And I'm very privileged to say that. But at the same time, we had to work to do it. My dad believed in child labor. So we had to work to go to do that. And so I learned a lot about business straight from doing it. Started working my way through college at the age of 16 and putting money away and things like that. So I know a lot about starting your own business and working for yourself. And because of the ethics that my dad taught me, went to school at East Tennessee State University, and then started working in developmental disabilities in that field, and found out that I loved it very much. And that's where I kind of stayed. And I went into the mental health field from there. And from there, it went into outreach with the church. And when I got married, I moved here to Florida. Began working in the church and doing outreach, which ended up into going on mission trips to Africa, Guatemala. And I've just been privileged to work a lot with people from all over the world. And you see the pictures there. I've loved working with the youth and just seeing the love that people everywhere have. If you just show them love back. And that's me with the clown outfit on, with the red hair and the silly hat. But and we've worked with the homeless here in Brevard County, food pantries, started a mobile food pantry in Merritt Island. And I believe that I have a passion for how people need to live, how not need to live, but their needs in life. And I see the bigger picture sometimes than a lot of politicians do. And I've seen what's gone on here in Palm Bay. I've seen a lot of neglect of the citizens, and that's what drove me to want to run. I've been involved in working with a lot of different campaigns as a volunteer. And I just decided, maybe it's time for me to step up and use the experience that I've had over the years to maybe make Palm Bay a better place.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Good answers, and we move it right along. So, Ms. Chris, I want to touch on some issues tonight, and so we're going to start out with some social issues. And so let me ask you this. what is your mindset on, or your perspective on the George Floyd case?
I think what happened was abominable. There should never be the hate that was shown in those 8 minutes. It should just never be there between anyone. And you know, when I saw what happened, I just was heartbroken, and it shouldn't be there. But at the same time, I've seen what has come about, and I've seen the hate that has continued to spew out of it, and I think that's just as horrible. We've had shootings of innocent people, shootings of our law enforcement that, you know, were just as innocent, and there has to be a dialogue to stop it. No, you know, it was an isolated incident. That, of course, these incidents happen. They do happen. We know that they do happen. We are not that naive, and we shouldn't be that naive to think that they don't happen. They do. But we have to be vigilant people to know when they do happen. We have to take care of them. We can't make them political. We can't ignore them. We can't sweep them under the rug. We have to be adult enough to say, yes, they do happen. We have to face the facts. We have to be accountable. These people do have to face justice, and we have to be the bigger people and say, this can't happen anymore. What can we do to move forward, to stop it, to make it less, to not have it? But we can't begin to digress and tear down our history. Our history should be something that we look at to say, how do we make our future better? That's how I see it.
Okay. All right. With that said, there's been a lot of chatter in the atmosphere about you as an individual, and so we want to air it out tonight. Okay. So one of the questions that is asked, frankly, all the time in the circles of social media rap that I see often, all right, is basically, is Janice Chris a racist? So how do you answer that? Is Janice Chris a racist?
100% absolutely not. The idea that I'm a racist comes from, I don't even know, it comes from people who've never met me, who've never traveled in my circles, who have no clue about who I am. I can tell you where I grew up. I grew up on the Atlanta Farmers Market as a child, playing with every race and culture. I have worked with every race and culture my entire life. It just, the idea of me as a racist is, it, for people who know me, they would laugh in your face. For you to say that to my family, they would laugh in your face. I have members of my extended family who are Black, Hispanic, Cuban, and I'm not saying that to be, you know, that's that stereotypical thing. Well, I have a Black friend. That's not me saying that. It's just the fact that I was never raised that way, and I never raised my daughter to be that way. And yeah, it's just that, it's chatter, it's gossip, and we all know what gossip is and where it comes from. So I would invite anyone who thinks that to come talk to me. Let's sit down, let's have a discussion, and get to know me, because it's absolutely not true in any sense of the word.
Okay. One of the other questions that keep popping up and keep being asked And I'm going to get to the city issues, but I know these are hot button issues that everybody wants answered. Does Janice Chris have an anger management problem? Is there an issue with her, as far as being angry all the time? We see a lot of situations where, you may go out full attack on social media. So do you have an anger management problem? And
No.
there's a basis for my question. Um, there's a basis for my question. So I'm going to put something here on the screen that reflects what I'm talking about. So, and basically what I'm showing to the audience is a certificate of completion for an anger management course that she took. So the question is, does Janice Chris have an anger management problem? Right? So did you see what I just put on the screen?
Yes.
Okay, and so you completed that course. Let's talk about it. Why did you have to do that course?
I had to do that course because there was an incident that happened at the back center in 2018, I think it is now, where I was actually attacked. And this is on video for anybody who would like to go and get all the public records. So because it's out there, it's on video. I was attacked by 2 employees at the back center, and there was police called. I had to go to the ER that night. I still have the scars from the incident. And when I left that night, they asked me, do you want to press charges? I said, no, I just want to go home. I was a nervous wreck. And the lady who attacked me was completely fine. She said, no, I have something to do. So I was held against my will in the back center by one of the employees. Again, all on video. And 2 months later, the incident happened in May. And in July, in July, these 2 individuals decided they would like to press charges against me. It went through court. It lasted almost a full year, and they wanted to press charges for battery and assault. They ended up dropping those charges themselves, but if anybody's gone through the criminal justice system, they know that it's not always that easy. Once a prosecutor gets a hold of it and it's gone through the system for a year, they want their money out of it. And I had to pay a lawyer, and of course it's expensive. So they dropped their charges, but the prosecutor said, no, we're not going to drop the charges. And I said, well, let's go to trial then. When I demanded we go to trial, the prosecutor says, okay, well, we will drop the charges down to everything, but because there's a video that shows nothing really happened and you were attacked, we'll give you disturbing the peace. So no, there was never any anger problem on my account. I could get into all of the details about the why and the whatever, but that involves my health issues. But like I said, go pull up the charges or pull up the public record for anybody, pull up the video who's really interested. But it was a disturbing the peace, which I said, okay, sure. And I could have had it expunged like other people on our city council did, but I didn't, because I knew I would, this is something that I believe everybody needs to know if I'm going to run for city council, because things like this happen, But so my punishment was take a 4-hour online anger management course. That's what it was.
And you completed that one again?
That was it was last year. It was in early last year.
Okay.
And I don't even remember getting that certificate. I actually think that was made up by somebody online, because it was online. I was never given anything. I was just I just had to. I was given an email that said you completed it, and I submitted it to the court. So that certificate was actually some Photoshop.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna play a video. The video is about 3 minutes or so, and so you're gonna bear with me here for a second. I want to play this video so it can be in full context, and then I'm gonna follow that up with a question. Okay? So give me 1 second. Let me cue the video.
Look on your calendars on Facebook. Call people. Definitely not the Trump Club with Susan Hodgers. And I will tell you why. Because we have, like, just like in DC, we have a swamp. We have snakes in the grass. We have rhinos. And tonight they threw out Robert's Rules of Order. There was no new business. There was no allowing anyone to speak or ask questions that they didn't want. I was one of them.
Okay.
Actually glad you
I'm getting
played
told
that.
there's no sound, so
I'm actually glad you played that.
I'm getting 1 second. Yeah. I'm getting told there's no sound, but basically the video piece that you would have seen is a video piece that Miss Chris did on her way from a Republican local meeting, right? Am I correct?
It's from the BREC meeting. It's from the Brevard County Executive. Yes. And I'm actually glad you played that.
Hold on. Let me set up the question. Basically, my question to you is this. Do you believe that as a city council rep, that you represent all the people?
Yes.
Okay. So in that saying, you do understand that this situation, this council seat that you're running for is not Democrat or Republican.
Exactly.
Blue or red, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the effect of the message that I got from the video piece is that you're basically are alluding to the fact that you want, more Republicans to be sitting in these positions on the dais. Am I correct?
I don't think that's what that video is about at all. That video is speaking to Republicans who would be involved in the Republican Party of Brevard County and has nothing to do with Palm Bay or the City Council. That video is speaking to Brevard County Republicans as a whole.
Okay, and that's your take on it.
That was what it was for.
Okay, there's actually 2 videos out there that is.
But I'm not here to talk about. But I'm not here to talk about those issues, because those things came up.
Mm-hmm.
Those issues with the Brevard County Republicans came up before I started running for city council. So I mean, we're 30 minutes into an interview.
when those videos what when you did those videos, I remember exactly. You already declared that you're running for city council.
But I said those issues came up, not the videos.
Okay. I'm not sure the difference there, but yeah. So basically, those videos were shot when you would declare that you were running for office, and you frankly, based the message that many got and perceived from the messages is that you are saying that you need more Republicans in these seats. So yes, I would just want to make sure that the audience knows exactly where I'm going with this question. Is basic, I'm trying to get from Ms. Chris whether or not she understands that she's representing everyone, not just Republicans or not just one side or the other. So that is the basis of my question. With that said, how will you work as an individual? How will you work with others on the dais? I mean, as a candidate, um, what would you do differently going into your election?
Well, I think I'm elected to work as a representative of the people, um, first and foremost, and to represent them, not to make sure I vow to the other people on the diocese. I'm there to make sure that the people are represented. I think that's part of the problem now on the diocese is, oh, how are you going to vote? Are you going to vote with me, or how are you going to vote? I think that's been too much of the problem with Palm Bay right now is they're not listening to the people. We have a mayor who snickers at the people, and we have too much of the back and forth, and we saw that with one developer coming up and saying, well, you guys were invited to see what happened or what we presented, and we had the councilman going, oh yeah, I went to see it. So, but the people were sitting there going, wait a minute, we have no idea what you're talking about. We don't want this. What about our opinion? So I think what you're saying is, how am I going to work with the people on the council when only two of them are going to be left there? I'm there to be elected by the people. When the question should be is, how am I going to be representing the people?
Okay, well, I mean, the basis of the question goes to, I mean, the anger management issue, the all of that. So basically,
you're perpetrating something that isn't there, though. You're creating a narrative that isn't there. I'm here to work for the people. I have talked to a lot of people who know me and know the story, and nobody is asking Jeff Bailey if he's able to do his job with a drug management issue.
we're gonna get to some of these questions. And so let's get there. Let's get there. Let's talk about corruption. Are you there, or did he freeze up again?
So why is there?
Okay, I think you just froze again. Are you still there?
I'm here.
Okay, yeah, I think you just froze a second ago. You were probably talking, but you froze. Yeah, so I was saying to you, let's get to the corruption issue because you brought it up. Okay. All right. So the question was, last year, some revelations were made in the media, as you alluded to,
right,
about corruption here in the city. It was very disturbing to the public. I would like you to weigh in, which you're pretty much trying to do now, and give your thoughts on what you would do if you were approached with an offer to help your campaign in a significant way. I would also like you to give the public how your campaign is currently being funded. Because, go ahead.
My campaign is being funded by small contributions, and I would say no to anyone who wanted to do anything illegal or underhanded. Everything is out there in the open for my campaign for anybody to see.
Okay, so how much money do you currently have in your pocket for a campaign?
Right now, I think it's under $200.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, are you looking to pick up more contribution as we go? I mean, is that pretty much what it is?
My official kickoff is the 28th of this month at Broken Barrel. Everybody who wants to support me is welcome to be there.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about residency because that's one of the other things that comes up often. Not just with you, others that may be sitting on the dais right now. And so we just want to set the record straight. Are you currently a homeowner in Palm Bay or rent in Palm Bay?
I have a home in Palm Bay, yes.
You have a home in Palm Bay.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
My address is listed on my election information.
Okay, yeah, I was trying to do some digging on the Brevard County Property Appraiser's Office, but I couldn't pull you up for anything, so that's why I asked. Because this is the situation that comes up, not with you personally, but with others. It has come up over time with other offices in regards to whether or not the individuals actually reside in the area that they serve. So we wanted to set the record straight, and she said she does have a home in the city of Palm Bay. So that question is now asked and answered. All right. With that said, let's keep it going. What are your aspirations for the city? As an individual, what are your goals? What are you looking to achieve?
I want to see Palm Bay to bring more jobs to the area that will allow it to create a better tax base and bring in money that can sustain what the city is becoming. We are the second biggest city in Central Florida. And the city council is still acting as if it's a bedroom city. We are not a bedroom city any longer. We have people, and this is the three main things that people are asking for: better paying jobs, more jobs, better affordable housing, and transparency in the government. We do not want housing that is stacked on top of each other. Yes, there is already a lineup of apartments that people probably don't know of that's waiting to be approved to the city council, and I'm sure people are not aware of that. But I'm on the sustainability board, and one of the things that has been talked about is to make sure our city has plenty of green space, plenty of our wetlands reserved and kept whole, along with the housing. So we have to start thinking into the future, start thinking out of the box for ways to bring the versatile housing for the people that are here and the people that will be coming here. Which means if we have a couple who is just starting out, maybe an apartment is right for them. If we have an elderly person, they don't need a 3-bedroom house. They don't need a certain type of housing. So we need to be versatile into what we as a city can offer them. We as planners in the city need to be versatile, and we need to think forward into resiliency into the environment as to what we can offer. And when I say resiliency, we need to look at what just happened with COVID-19. We had no plan whatsoever. The mayor was left, everybody going, where's the mayor? Where's the mayor? Then he decided to blame Lisa Morrell, and it was not her fault. We had no plan. These are things that can't happen. We need to have a plan for when something like this happens. God forbid we have a second wave come through. We need to have a plan for our citizens, and it has to involve housing as to if it's affordable. If people, God forbid, families find themselves homeless, what can we do to get them into shelters? And when I say shelters, I don't mean a gymnasium. I mean shelter and temporary housing. We have to have a plan. We have to have versatile housing that's affordable. That's what I'm wanting to do for Palm Bay. We have to have jobs come in that bring careers, bring money into our coffers, that is not supported by us, but supported by outside money coming in volumes. That's bringing impact fees from outside businesses, so that the citizens are not taking the brunt. Right now, they're going through city council trying to nitpick and nickel and dime us on ordinances. That is absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong.
Okay. Yeah. I understand your passion. Let me ask you. With that said, staying on the housing topic, let's talk about homelessness. One of the things that we hear a lot in Palm Bay nowadays is about homelessness. Do you believe we have a serious homeless issue, and what would be your solution to solving that homeless issue?
I think the best solution to our homeless issue right now would for the city to start a 501c3 and to generate funds that could start a shelter or a center that could help the homeless problem, because we do have a lot of organizations that can work that problem, and we have a lot of corporations that would gladly fund a 501c3. And it's a matter of getting those people together and not putting the responsibility on one individual, but on people who have been trained to handle this. Allow religious organizations to bring in volunteers, which is something they're very, very good at, that they've done for many years, and let those partnerships work together, and let people who want to fund it do so. And I think you'll find the problem solved much more quickly and much easier. And the city can help to manage that 501c3 with a board that's overseen, and there won't be money going missing or misappropriated, and no one's going to get their feathers ruffled, and nobody's going to get their toes stepped on, because it's going to be something independent of the city.
Okay. All right. Let's move on. We talked about the homeless issue. We talked about homes and all that good stuff. And now I want to talk to you about something else. Let's go into the city issues as far as road maintenance fund. This is a hot button issue. Tonight it got beat up a lot, and tonight the conversation got advanced a whole lot during the budget meeting tonight at City Hall, which is very good. It got more accolades. I mean, people were actually, the council members were actually looking at putting money into that road maintenance fund, the RMF. So, what are your thoughts on the road maintenance fund? What would you do as a council member to ensure that money does get allocated to the RMF every year?
Well, I think that's what has to happen, is money has to be allocated, and you have to ensure. This has been the problem, is money that goes into our city it's like a shell game. Where does it go this year? Where does it go next year? Every year, money needs to be appropriated to the same place, and it needs to stop being looked at like a shell game. And we have to, the first thing that needs to be done with our city budget is we need to have someone come in, audit our money, audit our city, and show us where the past money has gone to, and then we can know where to move forward. And it has to be done more appropriately. We need to know where our impact fees are coming from, and we have to have I think we need to have a better solution as to where our fees are. When we look at or how our fees are what our fees are. When you look at Orlando, a city like Orlando or other cities, our fees are almost backwards. We're placing fees on houses much more differently than we place fees on businesses, our impact fees. And this is where we're not making as much money as we should be. So maybe we need to look at that and then see if we can bring in more money and we're not putting the burden on our citizens. And then we can allocate more money for these things every year with a line item budget.
Okay, thanks for the answer. Let's see, Ms. Chris, I don't think we got the sense. Tell us exactly, why did you decide to run for city council?
Well, the biggest reason is the budget, or not the budget, but the corruption.
The corruption. But what about the corruption?
It needs to go. It's time for the city hall to be swept clean. When you have $20 million missing, and you have people saying, well, we don't have signed contracts, as if it's just a missing sheet of paper. That's not a good thing. And you have FDLE doing investigations and allegations of prostitutes, and you have nude pictures being sent, and you have people admitting that there's drug abuse, things like that. These are not good things. And the people in the city are sick of it. I've spent months going to events that the city holds.
Okay, we lost Ms. Chris again. It's unfortunate that we keep losing her. Let's see if we can get her back. Okay, folks. We have an interesting interview, and I'm willing to take some interesting questions from the audience. So, if we do get her back, I would like to get some questions that we can show on the screen, but please make them nice. Okay. Please do not be showing up questions that we cannot, cannot happen. So make sure you have questions that can be answered, and I will wait for her to come back. She is getting back on the live, so let's give her a second.
Hats off to entrepreneurs. You bring value to our community by creating jobs and building wealth. Aspire Enterprise of Florida is your premier one-stop resource for strategic business coaching, business trainings, and business services. Our elite team of business professionals have over 30 years of expertise to serve small business owners, not-for-profit organizations, and individuals. Aspire Enterprise, where your needs are our priority. Hats off to entrepreneurs. You bring value to our community by creating jobs and building wealth. Aspire Enterprise of Florida is your premier one-stop resource for strategic business coaching, business trainings, and business services. Our elite team of business professionals have over 30 years of expertise to serve small business owners, not-for-profit organizations, and individuals. Aspire Enterprise, where your needs are our priority. Hats off to entrepreneurs. You bring value to our community by creating jobs and building wealth. Aspire Enterprise of Florida is your premier one-stop resource for strategic business coaching, business trainings, and business services. Our elite team of business professionals have over 30 years of expertise to serve small business owners, not-for-profit organizations, and individuals. Aspire Enterprise, where your needs are our priority.
And there you have it. All right, folks. Janice will not be coming back on the program. She's told me she has internet issues, and basically she has issues with my show. So that's it. She signed off for the night, and I'm going to call it what it is. Unfortunately, she has chose not to, to whatever, it is what it is. She didn't like the tough questions, apparently. And I think they were legitimate questions. And I have to ask the questions because it's the questions that everyone else was asking. But yes, I just talked to her on the phone, and she pretty much said that she is having internet issues. And so that is it. She decided that she called the show a bullshit, and so it is what it is. So we have a good night, folks. It's been fun. It's been real, and I am trying to bring out the candidates so that you guys can hear about them, and it is what it is. We'll keep it moving. So thank you, and hopefully tomorrow night we'll have Randy Fine on, and that's it. Have a good night, folks. Thank you for joining me tonight, and hope you join me tomorrow night. And we keep it moving. All right. Thank you.